DevOps? Well, we talked about this in the video, removing the barriers between Dev and Ops, right? So we've got users. Agile really did this, right? It tied our users and our Dev together, but it did not tie together the Dev and the Ops, right? And I'm guilty of this in projects I used to run back in Waterfall. I would go over, oh, I'm done with my coding, and I'd toss it over to the testers and the operations people. I'd go, bye-bye. You guys figure out how to get this working now, right? And they get really upset, probably rightfully so. And this is a pattern that still continues in most organizations, unless you really achieve what DevOps goal is, which is to break down that barrier and to integrate your operations. Often people do things like giving a on-call support to people who are developers, so if something goes down, they're actually the first call. So people start to understand the pain of the other team and figure out what they need to do to automate certain things, get certain test automation in place to make sure that you don't have errors coming up. Okay, here's some more culture changes in DevOps, right? So we got servant leadership. You might not think a lot about this one, but the traditional model of leadership is I tell you what to do, you go do it. This does not work well in the context of knowledge workers. Knowledge workers are people who generally know more about the work they're doing than their boss does. Which means if I go tell you, you do this, this, and this, you may know that what I'm telling you is completely not going to work. But I'm not listening to you, I'm just telling you do what I told you to do. That will not work. Okay, so servant leadership says, I enable and empower my team by, empowering them to be able to do the job well. That's servant leadership. This is a very key in Agile and DevOps type concepts. Another one, communication skills. This may seem obvious, but if you're not talking to the people on the operations team or not talking to people who are working with users, that's a problem. You got to make sure you're integrating. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, we're going to have a DevOps team. We're going to have a team that focus on automation. That's great. But they don't talk to the development teams that are using Agile. They don't talk to the people who they just spend their time on their tools. So that's a problem with communication. Now, empathy. Thinking about where somebody else is, right? So when I took my software and I gave it to the operations team, I said, I'm going out for the weekend, and they spent the whole weekend struggling to get it working, that wasn't my empathy. I wasn't really thinking about what situation I was putting them in, right? So they're spending Sunday night, Saturday morning, and a whole weekend just sitting there trying to get the software working, right? So empathy. Grassroots movement. So a lot of times people say, oh, we're getting DevOps, test automation, and we're getting these big tools, and the big tools are going to do the job. And it's not the big tools that do the job. It's really something that comes from within your teams, right? Your teams have to be on board and doing this stuff. It's fine to have some good tools, but you need people who are actually going to care about getting this stuff to work. And open source tools, we talk about this. It's something called the periodic table of DevOps, which I really like. It's test automation, a lot of different tools, CI/CD tools. CD Labs put that out, I believe. And it really gives you a cool view of all the different tools that are available. There are a ton. One of the things I usually do, I certify DevOps courses. We have one over there actually we have coming up, if you're interested in that. But when I certify DevOps courses, we usually don't set up every single tool because there's so many tools. Everybody's environment is different, right? So these are things that you usually need to set up in your own environment because you've got so many combinations of tools that you could potentially use.